Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. You'll have to forgive my voice, I'm still getting over a head cold, so I'm a bit croaky. So, I'm going to do another kind of book review again today. I say book review, it's more of my opinions of a book, and then a quick synopsis of what the book actually is. So this time around, I read something that I'd never usually read, a bit of non-fiction. So this is Breakneck by Dan Wong, and it's China's quest to engineer the future. That's the subtitle. And this book is it's all about economy, sociology, politics, and the main focus is on China. Dan Wang is a technology analyst, so he knows his stuff. So the premise of this book is all about how China is now paving the way to being the superpower of the world and what steps it's taken to do this. So the author kind of describes the Chinese state, the Chinese Communist Party, as the engineers. They're the engineering state. They're the on the forefront of technology all the time and how it promotes STEM, science, technology, engineering, medicine, to all its citizens. And I think everybody in the communist uh, government is a trained, or maybe not trained, engineer. And it discusses its new uh, the progress it makes with AI, for instance, electric cars, how it's dominating those future markets in the world right now. And in the backdrop of this, it's comparing China's rise to America, which Dan describes as the loyalty society, a society of lawyers, and how the American uh, economy and future economy is now stifled by this loyally way of thinking of trying to block things all the time and kind of cut off any sort of growth in any areas. So with the progress that the author is noting down, what China's taken, it always kind of brings it back into what's happening to the United States. So it's the comparison between the loyalty state and the engineering state, but it's not always good as you'd imagine. He points out some massive flaws with the engineering state, as it's all about the country and where China's going rather than the individual citizen. And it tells some of the horrific things that the Chinese uh, Communist Party has done, like the China's one child policy, where the how many people was it? There's a lot of people that they sterilised. I think it was like 103 million, 130 million people, whatever. How many? For sterilisation, they only had one child, which caused all sorts of kind of absolute mayhem and absolutely destroyed a lot of the uh, countryside where Chinese families relied on large families, to keep on with the work and the farm and stuff like that. So it devastated the countryside, leading. I can't remember what was the book that I read about the American family adopting the stolen child from China. What was that book? I can't remember. I'm going off topic. And it also talks about China's zero COVID policy, on how it absolutely destroys the individual rights of people, into the point where they wouldn't accept a woman who was was going through labour, was going to get bed, they wouldn't allow it in the hospital because she didn't have a COVID test, or was it not that she couldn't prove that she didn't have COVID, so they wouldn't allow her in the hospital, and she miscarried outside the hospital. And shutting down whole apartment blocks, when somebody has been around someone who has COVID, and how that absolutely just drove some of the economies off the cliff completely. And then how it kind of rebounded from that, and how it also rebounded from the one-child policy as well. Again, compared to what happened not only in Europe and the United States too, of the COVID surges. So this is a really well written, fantastically researched book. I mean, this book I usually wouldn't read anyway. It's not really my thing, but I thought it was really interesting. He's done, and it's not like, oh, you know, it's a book about economy and politics. Check, please. I'm out of here. It's a really well written book. The author has blended, you know, storytelling and facts really, really well here. So if you're interested in a critique about China's economy at breakneck speed, that's what the title book is called, and compare it against the former, or soon former, superpower of America, and how also the negative sides of those economies too. Then pick up this book. It's really, really well done. It's very interesting. And that's Breakneck by Dan Wong. See you later, BookTube.